Good morning, boys and girls. I'm Mayor Muriel Bowser, and I am very proud to be here at your school at Friendship Ideal. Isn't that exciting? So let's give a big thank you to your principal, Principal Snowdy. Thank you, Principal Snowdy. Let's give a big round to all the teachers here at Friendship Ideal. Thank you, Pat Brantley from your school, from Friendship. Give her a big round of applause. I want to introduce our public education team. We all work for you. Dr. Christina Grant from OSSI, Deputy Mayor Paul Kine, the Deputy Mayor for Education, and Dr. Michelle Walker Davis, the Executive Director of the Public Charter School Board. And then we have to acknowledge your colleagues because they're going to represent you in what is a very important day all across the country. It's National Read a Book Day. That's fun, right? But what we know is every day is read 5 books a day, right? That's true, boys and girls. You should be reading 5 books a day. That's the rule in my house. You read 5 books a day. So what do you think? Look at all these books. You read 4? Okay, 4. I can go with that until Christmas maybe. And then 5. And then 5. And so often on Read a Book Day, I go to a classroom and I read a book. But I'm told here that you want to read a book to us. Is that true? Yeah. Oh, that is amazing. Now, what grade are you in? Second grade. So how old are you? 10? No. Are you 15? Oh. You're 7, 8? Okay. All right. Do you have a job? No. You don't have a job? You mean you don't go to work every day? No. Oh. What is your job? School is your job, right? And what do you do to get ready for your job every day? You dress in your uniform. That's one thing you learn. What did you want to say, honey? What do you do to get ready for your job every day? You solve problems. You need to read. Yes. You do your work. What about getting a good night's sleep and going to bed on time? Uh-huh. What about drinking water in the morning? Yes. What about eating a nutritious breakfast? Mm-hmm. What about eating a nutritious lunch? What about not playing too many video games? What about not watching too much TV? What about playing with your friends? What about helping out around the house? Okay, who has a chore at home that you're responsible for? Okay, who wants to share? Okay, you can share.
My home is really clean, and my dad and my mom keep it clean.
Yes.
And my mom let me read books anytime.
Okay, very good. Who else wants to share a chore? Yes, ma'am. Do some dishes?
Nope. Table and make the food.
Oh, right. Well, you're learning a lot of great chores. Yes.
Put away the silverware.
Put away the silverware. What about you?
Take out the trash. The trash bag and the trash can.
All right. Those are great chores. What about you?
Clean your bed.
Clean your bed. Make your bed every day. Clean your room. What about you? Sweep the floors. What about you? Mop the floors. What about you? Clean the windows. Fantastic. What about you in the back? You and you. Your friend here next to you. Both of you. Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Put away the phone and clean up the house.
Pull it away. Okay.
Be responsible responsible to help people.
Be responsible to help. Yes, sir. You? Yep.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Clean the dishes.
Clean the dishes. That's
Take care
good.
of the pet.
Take care of the pet. All right, I'm going to take 3 more of somebody who hasn't gotten to say anything. All the way in the back. 1.
Make sure to clean every single part of the house, top to bottom.
All right. That's a great chore. Who hasn't? You haven't had a chance. Yes.
Clean the stove.
Clean the stove. That's excellent. And you, last one.
Vacuum the floor.
Vacuum the floor. Well, I just love all of you guys are so helpful. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Man, I can't wait for my daughter to get to the 2nd grade. Because you know what her chore is to help me clean the dining room table. That's her chore. And so it's always good to help in your household, in your family, and help others too, right? Because you all are in 2nd grade now. You're starting to be big boys and girls, right?
Yeah.
Right, and you know how you're practicing your reading every day. Practice makes what? Perfect. Good. So with that, I think we get to hear about a book.
Yeah.
Who are my friends up here? Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah.
What's your name, sweetie?
Kenny Duran Cruz.
Kenny. And then what's your name?
Tafari.
Tafari. And what's your name?
Avery.
Avery. Fantastic. And Avery. And what book do you have to read today?
Hurry Up.
I like
A book about slowing down.
it. Wow. Who's the author? Is it Kate?
Kate and
And it's illustrated by Christopher. I'm reading upside down. Christopher Celia Neal.
yeah.
Fantastic. Where's the cover? Right?
The cover is not in here.
The cover's not the cover of the book. Okay. So how are we going to start? How would you like to proceed?
We're going to start with the red right here, and then we're starting over here, and then hurry up. Hurry down. Hurry up, round and round, and round. Hurry here, hurry there. Hurry, scurry everywhere. Hurry out, hurry in. Hurry if you want to win. Hurry so you reach the top. Hurry. 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 Stop. Slow things down. Take a break. Look around for goodness sake. Breathe in, blow it out. This is what it's all about. Make a wish, take a walk. Listen to the forest talk. Go explore, make some new friends. Find out where the rainbow ends. Count the stars, easy does. Marvel at night time, buzz. Mosey home, stretch and yawn. Race it off and rest it on. No more fast, slow instead. Dreams and lazy days ahead. The end.
Wow. Great. Hey, guys, give your friends a big You did really great. High five. High five. Good job. Good job. Well, very good. So now I think, what do we do next?
We got one more thing.
Oh, good. Let's hear it.
Okay, everybody. Now we're going to take 7 seconds in with breathing. Oh, okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Done.
Very nice. You guys do that every day? Oh my God. All right. And now?
Okay. I think, are there some questions? I hear you all have a media media station at Friendship.
We have the Friendship News Network.
All right. You want to tell us about them?
I really don't think so, but
So our Friendship News Network has operated their own news bureau for 15 years. And it is run by young people of Washington, D.C. And I believe our first question will be coming from our Friendship News Network reporter.
All right.
Hello.
So this is the press section of our event. Okay.
Yeah, sure. How you doing today? My name is Michelle Gross.
Nice to meet you. I'll stand up so you can ask me a question.
Okay. Oh, you want to say that? No, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay. My question applies for everybody. What is your favorite children's / childhood book?
Oh, my favorite children's book. My favorite children's book is a book called. My favorite book now, and I read a lot of children's books because my daughter is 5 years old. And my favorite still is a book called When God Made You. And it's a lovely book, and it's just about how special, like, we all are. And we're unique, and we are playful, we're fun, we're happy, but most importantly, we are special. And so it's a great book that, I just love to read.
That's a good choice. Now, my second question is why is investing in children's literacy so important?
It's so important to invest in children's literacy. That's a big word for everybody knowing how to read. And it's important to learn how to read well as early and as young as possible, because that helps your teachers as you get older teach you other things. So especially now when you're in the second grade, learning how to read will help you learn science, it will help you learn math, it will help you learn history and geography, all of the things that you're going to need to know as you go through school. If you have a tough time reading, we want to know that too, because everybody at school can help you with different classes and different tutoring so that you can love reading too. The other thing that's really important about it is we want boys and girls to love it, not to think about reading and hate it or be frustrated or think it's not fun. Because when I look at all of these books, you can learn about so many different people. You can learn about so many different parts of the world. You can learn about different professions. You can learn about sports. You can learn about art, all by just coming into this room. So for many people, reading opens up the entire world to them. And it's a great equalizer. Because no matter who you are, where you're from, how much money you have, you can learn just as much as anybody else by reading. So that's why I like early reading.
Well, I'll stand too and do my favorite book. Yes, sir. Your question. My favorite book is I Like Myself. Oh, wait a minute. This is special. Let's stop for this.
Okay. These are thank you notes.
Oh, wow.
And it says, Dear Mayor Bowser, thank you for visiting my school. My name is Medea, and I like math. Thank you for visiting my school. My name is Isabella, and I like to do math.
Isabella?
Thank you, sweetie. So I have a stack of thank you notes from the second graders at Friendship Ideal. Thank you, guys.
So I think they wanted us each to do our favorite book, so I'm going to do mine just very quickly, which is called I Like Myself. And I like this book because it exemplifies what we believe at Friendship, and particularly the line, I like myself on the inside too, for all I think and say and do, because we know that you are all just wonderful gifts to the world with limitless potential. And you showed that, and through the investments that we've gotten in literacy, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Superintendent. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. This school showed how much students can grow when you invest in them by having the top scores for growth in literacy. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
Questions? Yes.
Yes.
Actually, maybe for the deputy mayor.
Sure.
If I could, somewhat on topic. But I'm just curious. We hear this across the country about banned books, and I'm just wondering, does DC have any books that students aren't? I see a lot of shaking heads behind you. That either DC students aren't allowed to read or require a parent's permission to sign off on before they read. Do we have anything like that in DCPA?
We do not. We value almost above everything else the ability to think critically as a skill that we're focused on teaching. And we want young people and kids to engage in a fulsome way with reading and with books. We want them to do that with their parents and families. We value families' abilities to make their own judgments about what matters, and so we do not.
Do you ever hear feedback about that one way or the other from parents or educators?
It's not a topic that comes across my desk.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
Off topic?
Yep.
Mayor Bowser, tonight you're going to be speaking at an event, and the ownership of the new football team, or the football team's new ownership, will be there. What will your message be tonight, and can you update us on any conversations you've had with Josh Harris, or what you'll tell him tonight about bringing the team back to D.C.?
Well, I was invited to the Economic Club of Washington, and I have spoken there from time to time, and they are hosting the Josh and Mitch Rails, who make up, I think, the predominant ownership of the team. So I think it's a celebratory affair. David Rubenstein is going to be interviewing Josh. I think it is a great introduction of him to the community. My message is always what my message is. We're the best city in the world. Our football team should be in Washington. After all, they're called the Washington Commanders. And we're going to talk a little bit about what we're doing to promote professional sports, but also our investments in our local sports.
Mystics are heading to the playoffs in that respect. Your thoughts on that professional team?
I think it's amazing. The Mystics are, of course, one of our championship teams. The city has, in some years ago, engaged with Monumental Sports to build them their home court in Ward 8. We're extremely proud of them. They won the championship during the pandemic. Or was it? Now I'm getting my dates confused, but they didn't have a parade. So it'd be great if they win this time so that we can promote a parade for them. Yes.
Yes, Mayor. Yes, Mayor. Looking at the numbers, it seems that, basically with this holiday season weekend that just ended, we seem to have a lot of homicides in the city, maybe more than normal. And in addition, we had another homicide yesterday in a building in Southwest where a person was killed. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this as we continue? And is this curfew having any effect?
Well, Sam, I've answered that question in a lot of different ways, but the gist is the same. We have too many people willing to use guns in our community, and they must be held accountable. We are, as I see it, beginning to see more accountability in our system, more people being held, more cooperation from all parts of our system for the most part. So we continue to be very concerned about juveniles and juvenile accountability. As you know, I announced a more focused enforcement effort as it relates to the curfew. I'm very proud of the collaboration among DC government, from MPD to DYRS, to make sure that we have a thoughtful process that gets us what we want in the end. Kids safe off the streets, but more than that, connected to their families who obviously need some support to ensure that they don't have their minor children out overnight. So we will continue to concentrate on how we can keep kids safe. I am also very proud that MPD made some arrests in that case that you talked about. Clearly, the people appeared to be involved in some criminal activity, and a shooting occurred. Someone died. 3 people, I think, were arrested today.
I see. I did not know that. Well, one thing I wanted to ask also, Mayor, I think the last time I talked to you, I was asking about 16th Street and Good Hope Road, and I've noticed that there seem to be police there a lot now. I mean, I sort of drive by just to look. Any thought to discussing some alteration in the loitering laws with the council, given that in some cases it seems people are sitting ducks to be targeted for shootings?
I think that it is something that certainly we have every consideration on the table. Let me put it that way, Sam. We recognize that there will be hurdles in such a law. We also recognize that 16th and Good Hope presents kind of a unique, entrenched, long-standing problem in our city that is mostly related to substance abuse and and treatment of substance abuse. So I don't want to suggest that that type of change would fix the problem. Yes.
Hi, Mayor. Yesterday, 97 ANC commissioners signed on to a letter directed toward you and the council outlining several things regarding OUC, releasing staffing data, call transcripts, and an independent 911 task force. What is your response to that letter, and do you still have confidence in Heather McGaffin?
I haven't seen the letter, so I can't react to it just yet.
Can you talk about with your discussion last week with the family members of those dogs that died in District Dogs, the several things that you talked about to fix? How did that discussion go, and what changes are going to be made right now with OUC?
We are very focused with OUC on making sure they have the appropriate staff and training, and we're going to continue to do that. Yes, sure.
So one of the issues that the ANC commissioners have raised is the requirement that is now, I believe, law, that OUC is supposed to be posting on their website data about dropped calls and other mistakes, in my word, but that have happened with calls. That has yet to happen. It seems like they're delinquent in getting that up as required by the council. Can you explain why OUC, and I have to say, our news organization has been asking OUC for a comment on this and an explanation for this for days and have not received any response.
Mark, I will have to get back to you on that, on what law you're referring to and what the time frames are. Certainly, we want to be responsive if the council changed the law and to provide information, and we want to provide that information as expediently as possible. What we don't want to do, however, is take away from the necessary work that OUC has to do.
So
yeah.
They're just understaffed and too busy to comply with this?
Honestly, Mark, I would have to check back with you on what our response to the council needs to be. But it would be our intent to comply with it.
And then my last question about OUC, we received an email from a resident who is hearing impaired and was using 911 text to call for help, and received a return text saying they were too busy to take his text, that he had to call in, which he's unable to do because he's hearing impaired. He wrote an email to Director McGaffin, who responded to him saying that they were basically too busy at the time. There were too many text messages coming in at the time for them to keep up with. What are your thoughts? What do you say to this community who relies on text 911, who are finding out now that, and I don't know what the number is, that it becomes too much for them to handle, but at least in this one instance, you know, receive a text back saying we can't receive your text message, call us on the phone. And imagine what that's like for someone who's deaf.
I imagine that it's terrible, but I also imagine a lot of people are using text to 911, and so it does become an issue of which texts people respond to, and so we need all of our, whether they're call takers or whomever is answering the text, to be able to make that judgment call. And so in any case where I never like to respond to anecdotes, in the case of 911 calls, and I'm assuming the text messages as well, we can always do a deep dive into exactly what happened and use that as a training opportunity. And that's if you can provide us some details, or if that email exists to us. I like to know exactly what happened.
Mayor, do you have enough people in 911?
No, we're hiring this weekend. So I announced and I put out that we're having a hiring fair, not just for OUC, but for a lot of district frontline agencies that we're hiring. They're good jobs, they're stressful jobs, but we are always looking for good people who want to be on the front line, who want to take those calls, who want to stand in the breach, who want to take the constant criticism, and help DC residents.
And do you know how many folks you need in that position, or roughly?
I can get back to you and let you know what the vacancies are, Sam. But we have, even over the last 2 months, we've had kind of a constant stream of hiring events where a lot of people are stepping up and want to be helpful. And while we've talked about, it sounds like 2 calls here this morning, I don't want to go unnoticed the thousands of calls that they take every single day without incident that help DC residents, and the thousands of calls that some of them are emergencies. Many of them, probably 80%, aren't. And so part of our work in making our OUC the best that it can be is also working with the community to call 911 when you're having an emergency. Or to go to your urgent care if it's not an emergency and you don't need to be on an ambulance, and you shouldn't be in the emergency room. We are a city that has more than our share of 911 calls. So we have been working consistently over the last 8 years to make sure people are making the right call and getting the right care. So our 911 system isn't overburdened, our ambulance system isn't overburdened, and our ERs aren't overburdened. Because that's how I can say with confidence that emergency that may have been coming in over text by someone who was hearing impaired is going to get through. And that's constant work that we'll continue to do. It's not just simply, reporters asking me, are you have confidence in this person? Are you going to, at some point, you got to stop moving around the boxes and having commissions and do the work that it takes. And it's not easy work. All right. Thank you, everybody.